Today's episode is brought to you by the Nuance Dragon Ambient Experience, or DAX for short. This is AI-powered ambient technology that helps physicians be more efficient and reduce clinical documentation burden. I think we'd all appreciate a little bit of reduction in burden.
Yeah.
Right? To learn more about how DAX Copilot can help reduce burnout and restore the joy of practicing medicine, stick around after the episode or visit nuance.com/discover DAX. That's nuance.com/discover DAX. Knock, knock. Hi. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Knock, Knock, I, with me, your host, Dr. Glaucom Flecken, your one-stop shop for all things eyeballs. You ready to learn about some eyeballs today? This is a great day for glasses in particular, and by extension, eyeballs, the things that benefit from glasses, because the greatest moment for glasses in U.S. Olympic history, probably just the Olympics in general, just happened. I'm recording this the day after the U.S. men's gymnastics team won bronze, their first Olympic team medal in something like 18 years, 20 years, something like that. It was so exciting. Well, that alone was exciting. But what really got me going as an ophthalmologist is this gymnast, Stephen Nedoroscik, who's, I'm sure you've all probably heard his name by now or seen pictures of them because he was going on viral on social media. He is a pommel horse specialist. So like the whole team competition, you would see camera shot after camera shot of him just calm, cool, collected, just sitting off to the side, waiting his turn, waiting through all the different events, the high bar, the parallel bars, the gym, the floor exercise, the rings, all the things. And then finally, his time came, the pommel horse. He had to nail his routine in order to maintain that third place for the U.S. men, and he did it. He crushed it. And then what did he do? And by the way, every picture of him, or video shot of him before his event was him wearing his glasses. And then immediately after finishing his routine, leaving the stage, he's celebrating with his teammates. And then what does he do? He puts on his glasses. He raises them high in the air in celebration and triumph as they celebrate their bronze medal. And as a fan of the Olympics, I loved it. As a fan of glasses, I loved it even more because what an example of succeeding with refractive error. Some of you may be like, are you serious? Like, this is your takeaway? Yes, it is. And I'll tell you why. And what we're going to do today is I'm going to tell you about his eye condition because I did a little research. And we're going to talk about what he wears glasses for, all that stuff. But those of you that followed me for a while, especially recently, there's been this like war on glasses. This comes up every so often. It seems to be very popular right now among the people, I call them grifters, who feel like you can exercise your way out of glasses. That with enough willpower and coincidentally enough money, you can just shed your glasses, not through anything the medical establishment would recommend, like surgery or obviously glasses or contacts, but just your own willpower, diet, exercise, what supplements a 10-part course that you can download and for a hefty fee. That's the way to get rid of glasses. And obviously that's nonsense. All right. It's just optics. You need glasses. All right. You need to redirect light onto your fovea to allow you to see better. And this is a dangerous thing that people are telling others, that they're telling their audience, because the primary reason is because parents who maybe buy into this myth that you can just diet and exercise your way out of glasses, or that wearing glasses will actually make your vision worse. That's another part of it, which is also nonsense. There are parents that buy into this, and then they don't get glasses for their children, children that need them, children like Stephen Nedoroscik, now 20, I don't know how, I think it's about 25, but as a kid, if he didn't get glasses, he would have permanently lost vision. And so it's an important thing, and I don't want to underestimate. That's why I want to start with this. Just having Stephen, having this Olympian at the highest heights of his sport, on the biggest possible stage, unabashedly wearing glasses. That alone does so much for children, for people who have worn glasses all their life, who started wearing glasses as a kid and were told you can't play sports or you can't play certain sports, or kids that were steered away from athletic pursuits in favor of academic pursuits because they wore glasses. And that's what smart people do. You must be really smart because you wear glasses. Well, guess what? You can be smart and you can be athletic. But there are a lot of kids that are pigeonholed into certain activities and away from certain things just because they wear glasses. And so seeing an Olympian, a medal winner, just wearing those glasses all the time, took them off to perform, which we'll talk about, which is really impressive, but then putting them right back on, wearing them, talking about it. He has a TikTok channel that he's talked about his eye problems. I'm not diagnosing. This is not my thoughts. I mean, it is my thoughts, but this is not I have not diagnosed him. These are all things that I'm going to talk about today, are things that he's already talked about. But it just does so much for awareness. And he is like it or not, Stephen, you're a role model. I think he does like it because I've seen him. He's taking pictures with children, with eye conditions, with the same eye condition he has. And he's doing a phenomenal job with his fame, because he's gone viral on social media. The Clark Kent Superman memes have been plentiful. I love them. But I don't want to underestimate the impact that he has had from a glasses advocacy, because representation matters, you guys. And that includes something that many people wouldn't think of, like just wearing glasses. Like, that makes a big difference. Glasses are in, folks, and they're wonderful. If you need glasses, wear glasses. You can do anything with glasses. The one thing you might not be able to do is fly a fighter jet. You may not be a fighter pilot. That's maybe the one limitation that you might have as a glasses wearer, but 99.99% of human pursuits and activities and sports you can do with glasses. All kinds of glasses. All right. Man, I love the Olympics. I love it. I love these stories, these people that are thrust into fame, and they embrace it and they celebrate, and we celebrate them. There's just nothing like it. Once every 4 years, these people get to show their stuff, and they do incredible things. And man, I don't follow gymnastics any other time. Just once every 4 years, I get super into it. Oh, it's so exciting. It's so great. All right. Well, let's take a break, and we're going to come back, and I'll talk about exactly what Stephen has, what his eye condition is that necessitates his need to wear glasses, and why he's such a great role model. So we'll be right back. Okay, we're back. Knock, knock, eye. We're talking strabismus today, because our Olympic hero, Stephen Nedoroscik, champion of the pommel horse. Man, he pommeled so hard too. I hope you guys watched it. Like, go back and watch it. He pommeled the hell out of that horse. So of course, what I do once I saw this, I tweeted about it several times, and I probably came off as somewhat of a kind of a crazy person, which what I'm about to tell you will not dissuade you of that notion. I guess I should say disabuse you of that notion, whatever the word is. I did a deep dive on Stephen. I had to figure out, okay, what does he wear the glasses for? He looked like he was hyperopic, he was farsighted, but I had to know more. I got on TikTok, I searched his name. I know this sounds stalkerish, but that's okay. This is all for education purposes, and I'm shouting him out as hard as I possibly can. But he has a couple of videos. One where he was asking for eye doctor TikTok to weigh in on his eye condition and what he's able to do with his eyes. And I was like, that's me. I am eyeball doctor TikTok. I can do that. So I made a video, so you can go in and watch it, but I'll expand on my thoughts here during this episode. So Stephen has strabismus, which is a misalignment of the eyes. I've talked a little bit about strabismus before. It's a complicated topic. So I'll do my best to try to make this accessible to everyone. So strabismus is where the eyes are not aligned properly. So normally your eyes, they move together everywhere you look. That's what gives you binocular vision. That's what prevents you from seeing double everything, because your eyes are aligned. If you start seeing two images of everything, that means your eyes are not aligned and you have strabismus. Strabismus, there's a laundry list of reasons why someone can get strabismus. Sometimes it's just a mechanical thing. You have something in your orbit or around your eye that's pushing your eye in a particular direction, and your eye is not able to move. Maybe you got punched in the eye. Your eye is so swollen that it restricts movement and you end up with double vision. That's an example of strabismus induced by trauma. You can have a tumor in your orbit that pushes your eye in a direction. Maybe you can't look up or out or down or left or right. You have strabismus. The type of strabismus that Stephen has originated from childhood. And this is a common form of strabismus in kids who are farsighted. So real quick, I'm going to step back and talk about farsighted versus nearsighted, because that informs this discussion. So those of you who are nearsighted, which means on your prescription that you get from the doctor, there's a minus in front of that first number. You are myopic, minus for myopic. And that means you can see up close just fine. Maybe you're a -1, which means your focal point's maybe like arm's length. Maybe you're a little bit closer in. Maybe you're like a -10 or a -12, and you have to hold things right up in front of your nose in order to be able to see things clearly. All of those situations are nearsightedness. You're myopic. The other thing is farsighted. So you can be farsighted, which means there's a plus in front of that first number on your prescription. And basically what that means is your eye doesn't refract light enough to see things clearly. Okay? Let's think about it in terms of eyeball size, because people who are nearsighted have a large eyeball. All right, so their focal point is in front of their retina. All right, they need special lenses that will redirect the light onto the fovea. Farsighted people have a smaller eye than average. Their focal point is behind their eye. Basically, their lens, all their cornea, everything does not focus the light enough to be able to see things clearly. Little kids are almost all farsighted when they're born because your eye is very small. Like I just said, small eyes, farsighted. You're farsighted when you're born. And maybe not when you're first born, but very quickly you develop farsightedness. And so it's not unusual for a 6-month-old, 1 year, 2 year, 3 years to be like a +2, +3, +4. But if you're farsighted enough, if that plus number at the front of your prescription is high enough as a little kid, as a child, then what's going to happen, what could happen, is that your eyes, you have to focus, you have to squeeze those accommodation muscles in your eyes so much in order to just bring things into focus for distance and for up close. And sometimes when you're having to squeeze those accommodation muscles enough, the eye just gets stuck. It's called esotropia, where the eye moves in. And that's what Stephen has. So he has had esotropia. I'm assuming he's had it for most of his life, all right, because it's very classic. He's 25, he's young. He's probably in glasses from a very early age. And these are farsighted glasses. And so the best way to treat this, when you have like a 6-month-old or 12-month-old whose eyes are kind of one or the other or both, they're moving in and they kind of get stuck there, esotropia. A lot of times the easiest thing to do is just to give them a pair of glasses, and that will allow them to relax those muscles that are moving the eyes in. You give them glasses, it relaxes those muscles, and all of a sudden their eyes are straight again. And you can see this in there's always these viral videos of a little child, like an infant, not an infant. I'd say usually it's like at least a 4-month-old, 6-month-old. I guess that's technically an infant. I don't know. Where they get glasses for the first time, and you look at the glasses, and their eyes look huge. They're the cutest glasses ever because what they do, those are farsighted glass lenses. They magnify your face. And so you put those glasses on a kid, it can relax those focusing muscles, those accommodation muscles, and allow the eyes from going from looking inward to looking straight. And so I think that was a situation with Stephen early on because he's clearly farsighted. I can look at his eyes. If you look at his eyes through his glasses when he's wearing them in videos and photos, you can see his eyes look much bigger. They're magnified. That's what farsighted glasses do. That's how I can guess what someone's prescription is. It's like a cool party trick. I love doing it. It's great. I can be like, oh, you're clearly like a +2, or I can tell you're like a -8. Because plus lenses, farsighted lenses, they magnify your eyes. And then nearsighted lenses, minus lenses, they minify your eyes. And you can look at that when you look at their face through their lenses when you're talking to someone, you can tell what prescription they are. It's always a rough guess, but I'm pretty good at it. Like I said, nice party trick. And so clearly, Stephen Nedoroscik has farsighted spectacles, and he's had videos, TikToks, where he shows off his esotropia. Now, one interesting thing, well, actually, I should say the danger with this is, let's say a kid does not get in to see the eye doctor, doesn't get glasses to help straighten the eyes. What can happen? Well, kids have this amazing ability to adapt to things like this. So a kid who's 6-month-old, let's say they have one eye going in and they don't go to the doctor. What's going to happen? Well, that kid's brain is going to ignore that eye that's going in. The brain's going to be like, what is going on here? This eye's going in, this eye's straight. Well, I like the eye that's straight because that eye is seeing more of the world. So I'm just going to turn that other eye off. That's what happens. They ignore that eye. Their brain, they have the ability to just shut it off. And that's an adaptive mechanism so that they can just not have like 2 images of everything. They can navigate the world easier with just their good eye. But the downside to that, and what we've talked in a prior episode, is that leads to amblyopia. Because they've turned off that eye, their brain is not developing normal vision in that bad eye, in that eye that's got esotropia. So they won't develop normal vision, and that, by the age of like 7, 8, or 9, that becomes permanent, which is why it's so important to get kids in who have strabismus, get them in to see an eye doctor as soon as possible so that we can do treatment, whether it's glasses or surgery, to get the eyes, both of them, seeing well again. Because kids will turn off that eye and then their brain will lock in its development after a certain age, and that's it. That eye maybe will see 2200, 2080, 2060. It's going to be worse than their good eye. Now, Stephen's got a very interesting thing, and he posted a TikTok about this a couple of years ago. He has what's called alternating fixation. So, when he's not wearing his glasses, he has esotropia. So his eye goes in. We've established that, right? Glasses help relax the accommodation. Both eyes can see straight again. Well, when he takes his glasses off, you can see in these videos, there you go. That eye goes right in again. But he has this really cool ability to switch fixation of his eyes. So at first, when he takes his glasses off, his right eye is the one going in. He's looking at the camera with his left eye. But then he can switch and have the left eye go in and the right eye looking at the camera. It's called alternating fixation. Some kids can do this. And that is actually a really helpful thing for him in development as a young child, because if he's alternating his fixation, that means both eyes can develop normal vision. He's just not turning off one eye and leaving it like that. He is switching off which eye he's turning off. His brain is ignoring, right? Sometimes his brain is ignoring the right eye, and then he switches his fixation. Then the brain starts ignoring the left eye, and he goes back and forth. Well, the good thing about that is his brain is able to develop each eye. They're developing independently, but they're still able to develop them. And he's maintained that ability to alternate his fixation in his adult life. And so I have no doubt that he has, I don't know. Maybe he has one eye that's not as good as the other, but it would not surprise me at all if he's got perfect vision, 20/20 vision in both eyes. Now, he might not have great stereo vision, which is, when you go to the eye doctor, I don't know if anybody remembers this, but they give you these 3D images like a fly. They pinch the wings on the fly to look and see it. Are you seeing 3D? Are you seeing stereo? And a lot of kids with strabismus who have this alternating fixation, they actually don't develop good stereo vision. Now, it's possible if he got into his glasses early on at a very early age, he can have a little bit of stereo vision. So he might have some stereo. But it also wouldn't shock me if he doesn't have normal stereo vision. And so fast forward now to the Olympics. This is incredible. It's such a cool thing that he has overcome these problems in his vision to reach this level of sport. And I want to talk a little bit more about this. I'll take one more quick break. All right, so despite strabismus, esotropia, alternating fixation, the need for glasses, he has reached this point where he is an Olympian. He's a bronze medalist at the Olympics. What might be shocking to people is that he takes his glasses off to perform. And this speaks to a couple different things. Number one, he is farsighted. Like if he was like a -9, if he was a high myope, he'd have to be wearing contacts. Like there's no way to be able to perform as well as he does like that. But he's farsighted and he's young. You see, the thing with being farsighted is a lot of times that being farsighted doesn't really hit you until you're in your 30s or 40s. Because again, you have this amazing ability to focus your eyes. Now for Stephen, that focusing caused one of his eyes to go in. He has esotropia. Those of us who have a low level of hyperopia, who are just a little bit farsighted, we don't have strabismus, and we can see everything in the distance just fine. We can read just fine without glasses until we're in our late 30s, early 40s, because that's when that starts to go. So when Stephen takes off his glasses, it's still cool. I've seen pictures of him performing where he is wearing like goggles, like sports goggles. But he did this routine with no glasses at all. So what that means is that while he was pommeling, he was basically just using one eye. Now the thing is, he can see clearly out of that eye. So he's got good vision in that eye because he can focus all day. But he's only doing it with one eye. The other eye is pointed inward. Maybe he's switching back and forth, but one eye is pointed inward. So he really doesn't have your normal stereo vision at all. Depth perception is certainly reduced because he is just using one eye, seeing clearly with that eye, but one eye nonetheless, which makes it all the more amazing that he's able to do this. And also tells me that a lot of what he's doing is just muscle memory, right? He's practiced so much. The routine, hand placement, his proprioception, where his legs are and with his hands, and when he has to just switch hands and where to put his hands on the handles, on the horse itself. There's a lot of muscle memory there. There's got to be. I'm not a gymnast. I don't know, but I just have to assume there's a ton of muscle memory there. And then the vision he has in one eye is plenty for him to get the job done. So amazing. And then just a quick word about just treating myopia and hyperopia. Obviously glasses, we've talked about that. You can do contacts. So for farsighted people like Stephen, contacts are an option. I do think that, as a kid, you get used to glasses. Farsighted glasses are work really well for kids. And so most people just end up sticking with those. Refractive surgery can correct nearsighted and farsighted. I will say, though, I actively encourage people who are farsighted from getting LASIK because it can introduce these visual aberrations. You can get lots of glare and halos, and it makes cataract surgery a little bit more challenging. And just the changing the shape of your cornea to correct farsightedness involves basically creating a little cone in your cornea. And that can cause some problems down the road and just not have as great of a benefit as your typical myopic LASIK, which is like 99% of LASIK that's performed. So for those of you who are farsighted who want to get out of glasses, I highly recommend against LASIK. Another reason is because people who are farsighted don't start thinking about getting LASIK until their near vision starts to go, which is usually in their 30s and 40s, I talked about earlier. And by that point, you got diminishing returns to LASIK, right? To really get a great benefit from LASIK, you want to have it early in life. Well, people who are your average amount of farsightedness don't feel like they have any problems with their vision until they're much older. So anyway, that's just a quick little note about correcting farsightedness. All right, please avoid LASIK. If you have an ophthalmologist telling you that you should get it and you're farsighted, get another opinion. I think, especially for cosmetic surgeries like refractive surgery, any surgery, it's okay to get a second opinion. I don't never begrudge a patient for getting a second opinion before doing something permanent like refractive surgery or cataract surgery. They can get a second opinion if you want. More opinions is always a good thing. Anyway, all right. Congratulations to Stephen and the rest of the U.S. men's gymnastics team. I've also, since talking about this on social media, I have been told about other Olympians who are also wearing glasses during competition. There's an archer. I think there was a rhythmic gymnastics Olympian as well. I love it. It just getting people just living their normal lives. I mean, they're not living normal lives. They're freaking Olympians, but just doing amazing things wearing glasses. Again, I cannot overstate the impact that has on kids. and just whatever stigma there is about glasses, about wearing glasses during certain activities, is just being chiseled away by people like Stephen and these other Olympians who are wearing their spectacles. So keep wearing them, keep celebrating, and keep talking about it and showing it off and just doing all the things that you're doing, Stephen. I don't know if you're going to hear this. I'd love to have him on this podcast. Maybe I'll wait a few weeks. I'm sure he's going to be getting a lot of media attention over the next few weeks. But man, it's I love being able to shout out people like that. So thank you all for listening. Let me know what you thought of the episode. If you have any thoughts about this, about wearing glasses. I love hearing stories too. So if you have stories about your history or maybe your kids' history of wearing glasses from an early age, I'd love to hear about that. I'd love to share some of those on this podcast because I think demystifying and destigmatizing glasses wear, especially this day and age with so much misinformation out there, is incredibly important. So let me know. Email me, knockknockhigh@human-content.com. You can also reach out to me through my website, glaucomflecken.com. Thanks to my producers, Aaron Corney, Rob Goldman, and Shanti Brook. Editor and engineer Jason Portiz. Our music is by Omer Ben-Zvi. Just give me some feedback. Let me know what eyeball topics you want to hear about, and we'll just keep this train going. So hope you all enjoy the rest of the Olympics. We're going to get this out as quickly as possible, and so people can have a deeper educational experience with their Olympic watching when it comes to eyeballs. So take care, everyone. Knock Knock Eye is a human content production.
Knock knock, goodbye.
Thanks for watching the episode. You can find more on that playlist over there. If you prefer to listen, or you just had your eyes dilated, you can binge full episodes wherever you get your podcasts. Or join the party over on Patreon, where you get early access episodes, hang out with us, get lots of exclusive bonus content. Hope you subscribe, leave a comment below. Let us know what you think.